Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on the purchase of your JAYFLIGHT SLX 264 BH travel trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. I don't have the awning run out yet, but once your awning's out, get a good eye for that. See how much room you're going to need on your campsite for your awning to come in and out. Then I want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. So both your city water connect for the campsites and your power are just above your tires on your off campsite or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive, first thing you can do is make your unit level. Now I do recommend on one this long, find you a stick-on level, find the center of this side of your unit, stick it on there and have someone watch that while you level your unit. Power tongue jack here. Simply lower or raise it to your level. You do have a light here for nighttime docking. There's a hand crank for a manual override in here. Once you get unit level, next thing you do is stabilize your unit. Now, all four corners of your unit, you have your stabilizing jacks. 3/4 inch socket. Put that on there and run these down. Now, as I run these down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Going to better distribute the weight. Get a 4-pack of those from our store with your 10% off coupon. Put them down and just run these down until they're taut. You only want to run them down here until you have resistance on this crank. Then you know you're down far enough. Remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. You only want to bring them down just until your unit's stable. Run all four corners of these down. Once you have your unit level and stable, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. Power cord conveniently stores inside your unit. Push it back up in there when you're done here. 30 amp cord. At the end of that 30 amp cord, should you need to plug in at home, we have a 30 to 110 adapter. Got our power hooked up, let's hook up our water. City water connect. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. Always use this when putting water into your city water connect or your black tank flush. Hook this up, hook up your hose, but don't turn our hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Coming over to your campsite. On the rear is your hot water heater. All we're doing at this point is making sure drain plug's back in here. Put that on there nice and snug, and then you can go ahead and turn on your hot water heater indoors. Turn on your hose. After your hose has been running for a while, then you go ahead and open up your hot water valve. Water's going to come out of there cold, but once it's coming out of the air, you know your hot water heater is full. Then you can turn on your hot water heater. So let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry docking. Back over here in your off campsite is your potable water. Simply fill this up with a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside where you check your levels of your tanks. Hold the freshwater button in, and that'll tell you when this tank is full. Just remember, when using your potable water is when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. It's already pressurized. All right, you've got our power and water hooked up. We're all set up to camp. Let me walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit. On your off camp side, starting on the front, your pass-through storage, stabilizing jack. This is a flue for your furnace. If you're running your furnace, steer clear of that. It'll get rather warm. Your potable water and your low point drain for draining that. There's a vent for your microwave. Again, City Water Connect, power. An outdoor shower. Your black tank flush, we'll talk about that when leaving the campsite. And here's your black and gray holding tanks and your low point drains for when you're hooked up to the city water. Here's where you plug in your cable at the campsite. The unit's also prepped for a Furion backup camera. It's a device you purchase from our store. It sits on the dash of your tow vehicle, giving you electronically communicating with this and giving you a backup camera for the unit. There is your spare tire with a cover. Back around to this side, your hot water heater again. Big storage area. Remember to keep your storage areas locked. This side is also prepped for a TV. You can put cable and 110 here. And there is a clamp that'll hook onto that to put your TV on. Your awning, your speakers, outdoor speakers are on the end of your awnings. So when your awnings ran out, your speakers are actually pointing down at your campsite instead of out at everyone else's. Back around to this side, there's a cover for your propane tanks. Again, your hand crank, manual override for your power tongue jack. Your propane is on a regulator. Simply point this toward the tank you wish to be using, lefty-loosey to open. That about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. All right, coming up inside the unit, first thing I'd like to point out is where the fire extinguisher is. Make sure that you and everyone in camp with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway. There's your lights, your awning. We'll run that out real quick. Show you how far to run these out. So you don't want to run this awning out till you see a white flap fall down. That white flap there, once that comes down, you can see that black bar. That's as far as you want to run that out. And it back in real quick. Now note, sometimes if your awning is wet, that white flap will stick as it's flipping up. You might have to reverse and forward it a couple times to get it to fall down for you. Bright LED lighting. Alright. Coming around the rest of the unit. Here behind your dinette on the floor down here is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned this 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you're going to be gone for the day, nothing plugged in charging your battery, disconnect one of your battery posts to keep this from running your battery down. Coming over here, turn on some lights here. You have a 110 with GFCI reset on it. Here's where you check your tanks. There's your brand new battery. There's your freshwater tank. That's the one that you can hold down to tell when your potable water is full. And your black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. Turn on your water heater here if hooked up to gas. Water heater here if hooked up to electric. Coming over your stove, you have a self-explanatory microwave, a light and fan above it. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. Turn this to light. It'll go from blue to red. Hit your spark and there's your flames. Same thing on your oven. Turn this to light right there. Hit your spark over here. Then set it to the desired temperature. No need for a pilot light anymore. You light it from right here. And you also have a light for down there. Nordic cold fridge. Turn that on right here, but hold that in for about 3 seconds. So whatever's white here is what it's controlling. So right there is the freezer's white, so we're on the freezer temperature. We can switch over, touch the fridge. The fridge is at 3. You can bring that up or down here. And lastly is a night mode. Night mode tells the fridge, hey, I'm not going to be opening and closing you so much. Could you save me some power? And it does so. Hold in for another 3 seconds to shut off. On the floor down here is your access panel underneath your fridge to your breaker box and fuses. Have a lot of individual lighting throughout the unit, one touch they call it. Your sink and your shower area. In here do have a hand crank open vent. The bunk area has its own individual lighting. USB ports. There's a little bit of storage underneath this bottom bunk. Accessible from outdoors. Simply remove these table legs, lift your table up off those legs, store those legs away, and you can set your table down on those lips. Remove your back cushions, and that'll give you another bed here. Your stereo system, when I turn that on, I'll show you this also prepped for a TV. Backer here, 110 and cable here. If you do have a TV, turn that green button on before running your digital channels. That's a digital channel enhancer. Allows you to pick up more channels. We'll set the Bluetooth here. Let's make that FM. See if we can get anything to come in here real quick. I doubt it, we're indoors. But anyway, whatever's blue here is your speakers. There's indoors is on, outdoors is on. You can turn your music on, indoors or out. Shut them off, different modes. You can set your TV audio through it. HDMI, nice sound system. Touch it once for mute, hold it in to shut it off. Of course, you know your sofa, simply lift up on the front, and this will jackknife down into a bed. Lift up on the front, pull on the back, and you're back down to a sofa. There's your smoke alarm, your AC. Find your thermostat here. Oh, there it is over on the wall. Turn this on. I like to try on the air first. There, AC kicked on. Now you notice that I shut the AC off. Oops, go through your modes. Switch it to furnace. AC usually shuts out pretty quickly. There it goes. Furnace kicked on. Now take note, when you shut your furnace off, it does take a minute or two for the fan to shut off. Come back here near your bedroom. One thing I want to mention back here is when you travel, make sure that you snap this door closed. Here's the TV mount. I was telling you can pull up on this handle right here, remove this, snap it outside. So you can have the same TV for your bedroom and take it outside. 110 cable there, more one-touch lighting. Over here is an accent light. That blue area up there. And this is a template. If you ever decide to get this thing wired for solar or anyone in the future, this is a template for the techs to use, so keep that sticker on there. So that about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite. So what I like to do is shut off my main lighting. Then I can go through and see all the individual one-touch lighting that I need to go through and shut off in the unit. Don't want to leave any of these lights on because they're simply just going to run your batteries down. And it takes a second to walk through and shut them all off. I've got all of our lights off. Everything's secured in here. Let's leave. Now when you come out, make sure you lock and deadbolt your door. Lift and turn this handle. Hold your door closed. At this point, we're going to go ahead and bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Unhook our cable and our water. Come around to the off-camp side. If you're using potable water, if you're out dry docking, you pull that low point drain. Otherwise, come up here and open up both these low point drains. Head over to your hot water heater. Lift up on this pressure release valve. That's going to let all the air out of your hot water heater, or all the water out. Once that's done, close this, otherwise your door won't open or close, and then remove your drain plug. Hook up your hitch and then head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, take the sewage hose, comes with your convenience pack. Plug that in right there, and the first thing you're going to pull is your black holding tank. That's going to be your right handle with the black handle. Now after it sounds like that's no longer draining, you're going to go ahead again with a water pressure regulator. Hook that up to your black tank flush here. Leave that black handle open and turn your hose on for a good 5 minutes. The hose is going to wash out all your black tank, get all that nastiness out of there. Unhook your hose, shut your hose off, close your black handle, and pull your gray handle. Now your gray handle is going to be your cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. That's going to clean your sewage hose out for you. Come right here to your bumper and conveniently and sanitarily store your sewage hose in your bumper. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. We hope you enjoy this JAYFLIGHT for many years to come. Happy camping.